Here are some lesser-known facts about Native Americans, often referred to as Indigenous peoples or First Nations in Canada. Written language before colonization. While many believe Native American cultures were primarily oral, several tribes had developed forms of written language long before European contact. The Cherokee syllabary, created by Sequoyah in the early 19th century, is one of the most famous, but petroglyphs and pictographs were used by various tribes for centuries to communicate and record information. Mound builders. The Mississippian culture, which thrived from 800 to 1600 CE, built complex city-states and enormous earth mounds across present-day U.S., including places like Cahokia near modern-day St. Louis. These mounds were often used for ceremonial, residential, and burial purposes. Cahokia was home to tens of thousands of people at its peak, larger than some European cities at the time. Indigenous environmental management. Native American tribes were among the earliest practitioners of environmental sustainability and land management. Many practiced forms of controlled burning to manage forests and grasslands, encouraging the growth of certain plants and improving hunting conditions. Some studies suggest that pre-Columbian America was more like a managed garden than a wild, untouched wilderness. The true origin of lacrosse. Lacrosse, now a popular sport worldwide, originated with the Iroquois and other Native American tribes, who played a version of the game known as Bag-It-Away, or the Creator's Game. It was more than a sport. It was deeply spiritual and was often used to resolve conflicts or train warriors. Early matches could involve hundreds of players, and the playing field could be miles long. Advanced medical knowledge. Native Americans had extensive knowledge of herbal medicine and natural remedies long before the arrival of Europeans. They used plants like willow bark to treat pain. It contained salicin, the active ingredient in aspirin, and practiced various forms of surgery, including setting broken bones and performing trepanation, removal of a piece of the skull to treat head injuries. The first Thanksgiving wasn't about pilgrims. The widely known story of the first Thanksgiving involving pilgrims and Native Americans is largely a myth. Feasts of gratitude were common in many Native American cultures long before European settlers arrived. The Wampanoag, who shared a meal with the pilgrims in 1621, had their own traditions of giving thanks that were far more nuanced and regular than the singular event that has been mythologized. Inuit sun goggles. The Inuit people of the Arctic developed ingenious sun goggles, made of carved bone or wood with narrow slits to reduce the amount of sunlight reflected off the snow, preventing snow blindness long before modern sunglasses were invented. Pre-Columbian cities in the Amazon. Recent archaeological discoveries using LiDAR technology have revealed that the Amazon rainforest once housed complex and advanced cities. Indigenous civilizations built expansive networks of roads, causeways, and massive earthworks, contradicting the long-held belief that the Amazon was sparsely populated. These cultures thrived before the arrival of Europeans and their subsequent collapse due to disease and colonization. These facts highlight the advanced, diverse, and complex nature of Native American civilizations, often overshadowed by the narrative of European conquest. Here are a few more intriguing and lesser-known facts about Native American cultures. Advanced agricultural techniques. Many Native American societies, including the Maya and Inca, used advanced agricultural techniques such as terracing, irrigation, and even hydroponics, plant cultivation and water. In the Andes, the Inca created a network of terraces to maximize arable land on steep mountain slopes. Meanwhile, Native Americans in the desert southwest of the U.S. developed irrigation systems that still influence modern farming today. The legend of the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is a powerful and mythical creature in the traditions of many Native American tribes. Believed to bring thunderstorms and rain, the Thunderbird was often depicted as a giant bird capable of creating lightning with its wings. It's said that the sound of thunder is the flapping of its wings. While some might think of this as just mythology, fossils of enormous prehistoric birds like Argentavis, with a wingspan over 20 feet, suggest that the legend might have been inspired by real, ancient creatures. The Great Law of Peace. The Iroquois Confederacy, Haudenosaunee, had one of the oldest known participatory democracies in the world, established around 1142 AD. Their constitution, known as the Great Law of Peace, influenced the development of modern democratic principles. In fact, many historians believe that the U.S. Constitution was inspired in part by the Iroquois system of governance, which emphasized balance, unity, and collective decision-making among the 6 Iroquois nations. Native Americans and astronomy. Native American tribes had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy long before European settlers arrived. The Anasazi, ancestors of the Pueblo people, built structures like Chaco Canyon that aligned with celestial events such as solstices and lunar standstills. Similarly, the Maya had highly accurate calendars and tracked the movements of Venus, the moon, and other celestial bodies for agricultural and ceremonial purposes. The use of quipu by the Inca. The Inca didn't have a written language, but they developed an intricate system of recording information called the quipu. It consisted of knotted strings made from cotton or llama wool, with the position, color, and number of knots encoding specific data, such as census records, taxation, or crop yields. This sophisticated system allowed them to manage one of the largest empires in pre-Columbian America. Tobacco's sacred role. Before it became a global commodity, tobacco was used by many Native American tribes for religious and ceremonial purposes. For example, the Lakota and other Plains tribes used it in peace pipes during important rituals and negotiations. Tobacco was not merely for recreation, but was considered a sacred plant, offered to the spirits as a form of prayer or thanks. The medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is an ancient symbol used by various Plains tribes that represents the interconnection of all life. It is a circle divided into 4 sections, each representing a cardinal direction, season, life stage, and a specific element, such as water or fire. The medicine wheel embodies balance, harmony, and the cyclical nature of life, reflecting indigenous beliefs about health, spirituality, and the universe. Birch bark canoes. Native Americans of the northeastern woodlands invented the birch bark canoe, a lightweight and incredibly durable watercraft. These canoes, made from the bark of birch trees and wooden frames, were essential for transportation, hunting, and trade in the densely forested regions of North America. Their design was so efficient that they were later adopted by European fur traders. The Code Talkers. During both World Wars, Native Americans, particularly the Navajo, played a crucial role in U.S. military efforts by serving as code talkers. They used their native languages to transmit encrypted messages that the enemy could not decode. The Navajo code used in World War II was never broken by the Axis powers and played a key role in the success of the Pacific Theater.